Kiran Rao, I'm so happy to meet you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, and it's a Sunday afternoon. आज ही का दिन मिला था आपको?
We were intending to get together. अभी हो गया Sunday का get together.
But there is no Sunday before the release, huh?
Every Sunday I've been racing around. You can see how much I've been running across this country trying to tell people, पहली मार्च को आ रही है, please आइए नज़दीकी सिनेमा घर में.
Yeah, but that's quite a template, huh? नज़दीकी सिनेमा घरों में.
हाँ, it is. I mean, honestly, फिल्मों को actually putting in cinemas is its own challenge, you know, because लोगों को इतनी चीजें अपने फोन पे है, ये है यहाँ. So it's like to tell them, हाँ आ रही है पहली मार्च पर, लेकिन आपको सिनेमा घर में देखना पड़ेगा.
Ladies who are लापता, physically as well as metaphorically. Kiran, as opposed to धोबी घाट, which you wrote and directed, और उसके पहले आपने 10 साल का गैप लिया था, जिसके पहले you did, of course, लगान. You were there as an AD in Swades, a monsoon wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're fossil, man.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Dinosaur.
Lot of experience
Dinosaur.
there.
Yeah.
Dinosaur. Do you know that the making of Lagan also got a national award?
Yeah. In fact, it's arguably better than Lagan. I just absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Made by Satyajit Bhatkal. It's one of the best documentaries on filmmaking ever. Madness in the Desert. You have to see it. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible.
That's where I saw you, no? That's
okay.
where I saw you long back when you were in Lagan. एक सीन में the girl who gets लापता, वो जिस औरत के पास आके रहती हैं, वो औरत वो बहुत अच्छी बात बोलती हैं उस लड़की से कि तुम्हें कहाँ जाना है, शादी के बाद तुम कहाँ जा रही थी विदा होके, कुछ पता है? बोली पता नहीं. तो उसने बोला ए तेरा फेवरेट हीरो कौन है? कहता है सलमान खान. कहाँ रहता है? वो गैलेक्सी अपार्टमेंट बैंड्रा. उसने बोला उसको अपने फेवरेट हीरो का भी पता मालूम है, और तुम जहाँ ससुराल जा रही थी तुम्हें उसका पता नहीं मालूम.
लड़कियों को समझाया जाता है कि everybody else knows what's best for them. कि आपकी पेरेंट्स को पता है, कम्युनिटी को पता है, you know, रिलीजियस लीडर्स को पता है कि आपके लिए क्या अच्छा है.
हाँ, आप चुप रहिए बस.
आपको बस वो करना चाहिए क्योंकि सबने ठान लिया है कि यही आपके लिए ठीक है. तो उसको क्वेश्चन करने की भी इजाजत कभी होती नहीं है. तो इस लड़की ने कभी सोचा ही नहीं कि होगा अच्छा ही होगा, जहाँ भेज रहे हैं वहीं चली जाऊंगी या जो भी है. और उसको वैसे प्यार है अपने हस्बैंड से फिर भी. तो ये एक क्वेश्चनिंग मंजूमाई बहुत फनली करती हैं कि इस छोटू जहाँ उसका पता है जहाँ वो कभी जाने वाला ही नहीं है. हाँ. लेकिन तुमको जहाँ पूरी जिंदगी रहना है उसका तुमको पता नहीं पता.
There was a scene, उसमें वो कहती है लड़की जो अपने पति से अलग हो गई है, जुदा हो गई है, खो गई है, वो मंजूमाई जो कि she's a tea stall owner at a railway station, उनसे कहती है अगर मैं मिल भी गई अपने पति को तो क्या वो मुझे अपनाएगा? And till this point probably we all were thinking the same thing कि क्या वो अपनाएगा? And Manjumai almost like a smack on her face metaphorically she says no. सवाल ये है कि क्या तुम उसे अपनाओगी? Because वो तुम्हें छोड़कर चला गया.
It's also a question of making yourself a priority in your life. You know, even the most urban women or the people like who live in like where we call liberal or you know society which is evolved. We always put ourselves last. Our families come first, our parents and our children and our work and all the expectations. But where are you in all this? Why are you not the center of your universe? Tomorrow if I had put say a Janvi or an Alia in these roles, I'm sure they would have played the roles perfectly well. It's not like they would have any trouble playing a village girl. But it's just that the audience also connects with them in a very different way and has a different expectation from them. You know, so for them also in some way it's a baggage being a star. You know, having said that, look at Alia in Punjab, Ulta Punjab. What a transformation. They can do any role. ऐसा तो नहीं है. But इस फिल्म में हमें लगा कि actually to buy into this little conceit that दो लड़कियां अदला बदली हो गई है, कहीं चले गए, मिलती नहीं है. तो to keep that sort of real confusion and mess that's happening and to be able to surprise the audience.
The confusion actually is a character in a film. That would not have been possible with very famous faces in the...
I did my master's, so till I was 23 I was studying. So my parents after that were like, अभी 24 की हो गई भाई, now you better look after yourself.
Nice.
Which is very unusual, which is what you tell a son traditionally. So
कुछ सोचा है क्या करना है अपनी
हाँ, my
जिंदगी
dad
का?
was like, ठीक है, you want to do movies, great, but now अभी हम लोग को कुछ पता नहीं इसके बारे में. Ask me about,
Right.
finance or the corporate world or something.
Yeah.
I can help you.
Yeah.
But we don't know anything about
So your
this.
parents are not from the film background
At all. Yeah,
Which background?
my dad used to work with a steel company.
Wow.
And my mom used to teach. She taught in the open school, and she taught different kinds of kids. So we came from a completely non-film background,
Yeah,
though we have a lot of artists in the family, a lot of writers. We have a connection with publishing. So in that sense, a lot of the arts, music and arts, but not film. No film connection.
It's a good thing, Kiran, because then those people get in a fresher perspective. They don't focus on the BGMs
True, yeah.
and the drama.
I didn't have any
Yeah.
set notion of film kaisi honi chahiye.
Yeah.
I hadn't grown up listening to, commercial stories, ki story mein twist
Exactly.
kaisa hota hai. It is in some ways an advantage and a disadvantage, because what comes, I feel, very naturally to Aamir is like hearing what's good about a story. Because he's for like decades just heard stories, so many kinds of stories.
Yeah, where's
And
the high
that
point,
really
where's the low
tunes your
point, where's the
ear.
interval point, how do we break into an interval?
Why it's not working,
Yeah.
or what's really good about this story, but how it could be better.
Yeah.
So these are things I've learned with time.
But Aamir की इतनी बातें हो रही हैं. What is Aamir doing in the film? Why is he not in the film?
Yeah, he really wanted to be in the film.
Yeah?
And he did an excellent audition also for the role of Manohar. He wanted to play Ravi Kishan's role, and he did really well. I mean, Aamir is one of those people who can
do anything,
mold himself into any role, including, when he becomes 100 kilos heavier for Dangal. So, the idea was how much would he in some way demand that audience's expectation of like doing something. Not demand, but like he, without even wanting to do it, an audience has a certain expectation of a big star, and we wanted to free that character of any such pressure, because I wanted Manohar to be highly unpredictable, which he is. He goes on to whatever, subvert your expectations.
मैंने बहुत कम ऐसा देखा है जहाँ किसी बच्चे को माँ का नाम भी मिले और बाप का नाम भी मिले. It's so nice for your son to be called Azad Rao Khan. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, well, it's a strange thing, taking because at the end of the day, Rao came from my father. So if you really had to be matrilineal, then he would be Panje Khan, which is my mother's name, which I didn't get. So it's identity is something you finally make on your apne balboote pe. You earn your name. But I did want him to have a little part of his heritage from me, and I do think that it's important in some way to acknowledge that you come from maybe two very different families who have come together. And it in this case was Rao Khan. I have family where they've not given their, my own family, where they've not given them any surname. So so that I think is even nicer, because in some ways you realize that you have to, it becomes in our country so related with caste, with a certain kind of privilege or religion or whatever, and having Rao I thought was nice, because I wanted him to have a little bit of me. But strictly speaking, I think surnames only, if we could do away with it, would be great.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. It's so loaded. The surnames are so loaded with meaning, backgrounds, politics, everything.
I suppose it's also to do with like situating yourself linearly in some sort of genealogical tree, like going back to so many, where we came from, I'm from this part of the country or the world, and we are morbidly interested in these things. Like we'll always be like, where are you from? Where do you grow up? We want to know these things. I suppose it's a very human thing. So having it, and in our case it's so linked with a caste identity, so it's a bit it's one of those things that for us is even more loaded.
Absolutely.
Which I struggle with. So but I liked the idea that he would have something of me in his name.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it your idea?
It was, yeah. Also, I just had Azad. In the same year that Dhobi got released, I had Azad. So I had really struggled with having a child. It took me 7-8 years of trying before I had Azad. So I really wanted to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I had a great time being with him
Nurturing
and raising
him.
him. I suppose a large part of my creative mind was satisfied with that.
Yeah,
You know, I wasn't like frustrated as much as I would have been if I didn't have Azad. So yeah, it's a combination of reasons why it took a while.
Yeah.
And then in 2018, when Aamir read this and he thought of me and he said, you know, this is a story. It felt like suddenly I should believe in like destiny or something, because I heard the story and I was like, I want to make it.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly the kind of thing I'd like to do, even though it's very unlike anything that you'd expect me to do. I've enjoyed my life.
Yes, you have. And you know, this is लोगों को लगता है बस काम 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 ही जिंदगी है. अरे जिंदगी भी तो जिंदगी है.
Correct.
What about that? What about soaking in the sun and bathing in an ocean, or just running, taking a walk by the beach and watching the flowers, watching your children grow?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of pressure that we put on achievement in terms of like, you know, उसने इतनी किताबें लिख दी और इतने फिल्म्स बना दिए या इतना फास्ट भागा, you know, या इतना जो भी है, there's a sort of pressure of achievement and also achieving it young.
Yes.
अरे 20 साल की उम्र में उसने ऐसी फिल्म बना दी.
Correct.
So there's kind of almost like saying like, listen, if you've not done it by the time you're 20 or 30 or 40, then forget about it.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to be said for, you know, how life influences you, how you. It's about exploration. It's about finding yourself in this journey. It's about expressing yourself.
So what have you found?
I found I'm a comic. I enjoy comedy.
Yes.
I found that I don't like to be pressured, and the pressure I put on myself is enough. I don't need other people to say, "अरे आपने 10 साल लगा दिए, 12 साल लगा दिए." It doesn't bother me as much as the pressure I put on myself. So I'm learning to deal with that. I think I've also found that it's kind of important to just enjoy the little moments.
Kiran, may you never be Laapataa. May you always find your soul, your heart, your voice, as you've been doing. And also continue to enjoy life beyond all the pressures of the accolades and the achievements and awards. Thanks so much.
Thank you. That was lovely. Great fun.